what it do, my zoomies? It's me, your boy, Danny. Today, I would like to teach you all how to draw. Well, yeah, in this video, we're gonna be showing you the art of yeeting. It's something I get asked oftenly how to do, so I decided to make this video to maybe help you figure out how to do that. And this will work really great with live2d and Pngtubers. But before we do, please consider liking, subscribing, and follow me on Twitch and Twitter under Zom_Daddy. The main programs and software we'll be using for this are going to be OBS Studio and Mixitup, and for the Pngtubers, we're going to be using a plugin for OBS called Move. Now, I will not be going over where to find or how to set up a lot of these softwares, but I will tell you that there are plenty of tutorials online where to find them and how to set them up. All of these programs are free. Now, I know that this main method I will be using OBS Studio, however, Mixitup does not need OBS Studio. For the Move plugin though, I'm not too sure if there is a way besides OBS Studio. But first things first, we're going to be looking up how to set up Mixitup for OBS and Vtubestudio. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to connect your profile on Twitch or YouTube to Mixitup. After we sign in, we're going to be sent into the chat, and all you're going to have to do is go to the 3 bars up here top, up on the upper left. We're going to be scrolling down until we see services. And from here, we're going to scroll down until we see Vtubestudio. And we're going to have to look for our port number. Should be located on the cogwheel on Vtubestudio. The port number will be down here under Start API. This is where you kind of just go down here, make sure this box is just checked, basically. Making sure that number is the same, we'll click on Connect. We will most likely get a message appearing on Vtubestudio asking us to allow or deny. We are going to allow this program. Next up on our list, we're going to be showing you how to connect to OBS. We're going to be scrolling up on the Services tab again, still looking for OBS Studio. We are essentially going to be needing our IP address and a password, which is optional. We will be going under to Tools tab and going to WebSocket Server Settings. Make sure that this first one here, Enable WebSocket Server, is ticked. And for all of our information, we're going to be going to Show Connect Info. Make sure to hit yes. Now, of course, I cannot show you any of this information. This is literally private information for me. But essentially, make sure that the server port number that you have here is at the end of this IP address. Basically, the WS semicolon / number point number semicolon port number. I'm basically going to be copying my server password over as well. Now we have OBS Studio connected and we have Vtubestudio connected. We have full control over OBS Studio and Vtubestudio. And now we can start getting into the fun stuff. Now, before we do anything in Mixitup, we're going to go straight over to Vtubestudio. And we are going to go over to the hotkey settings. Now here you can tell that I've already made a hotkey for my Yeet. Essentially, this is going to be with the hotkey action move model. Now under the hotkeys, we're going to make a new hotkey by hitting the plus icon. We're going to make sure that we name this Yeet P1. Now we're going to go to select move model, and this is going to be the trick here, because I could be at any part of the screen here, but I need to set this up in a way that anywhere on the screen, this will look as natural as it can. So we are going to hit control, we're going to move our model to the side, spin, and I am going to basically shove myself until my feet are kind of poking out of the corner right up here. And this is where I'm basically going to do now a record position. Now, I'm essentially going to now do this again, make a new one, Yeet P2. And I am essentially just going to shove myself off screen, just very far out there, and record position. Yeet P3. I'm gonna move myself over into this corner, and I'm gonna move myself down, just until I'm basically below the bottom line. Now, I need to now put myself over into the corner down below. I'm essentially gonna go into my gaming position. I've already made a hotkey for this position, or where I basically sit in the corner here. And I'm essentially just going to move myself down. And then we click record position. And this typically would just be it for me. I would just be coming back up, right out. And now that we have set all of that up, we are now ready to go into the mix it up editor. We are going to go to create new channel point, Yeet 2. Channel point successfully created. Now we're gonna go into the editor here, basically by clicking the little pencil icon down here. It says edit command. And now we are going to go down into here, Vtubestudio. We're gonna go to run hotkey. And we are going to select our specific model. And we're gonna go into our hotkey terms. This is why we named our hotkeys, so we can easily more find them. Yeet part 1. Now we're gonna go to duplicate. 1, 2, 3. One more for the position that we reset to. We'll return to our default position, which is gamer corner. Now, you're gonna realize something. We can now hit the test here, test command, to try and see if it'll work when we do this. Test command. Whoop! You saw that there. We went way too fast, literally lightning. There are ways to make this a little bit slower. From here, we're gonna go to fade for seconds, and I like to have this set to 1.3. We are going to add in here wait commands. Now for the wait times, these times I find personally are pretty good for how long and how fast. Really the important one is going to be the first one, which I put to 0.1, which will make the initial throw much more faster. And we can try and test it to see how well it works. Whoa! However, we're missing something for this. We need that little bit of extra polish. And that is what sound is going to add. Luckily, I already have sounds selected. You can get your own sounds from anywhere. Remember, we're going to still need a wait command in between. Oh, there we go. That seems much more natural. You have basically gotten the basic gist now for live2d. Now for this next segment is going to be for Pngtubers and how they can yeet. As I had said before, you are going to need the move plugin for OBS. This is mainly the only way I know how to make this work. But first things first, we are going to try and make a new source. Now for this scene, I decided to name this Goblin Move because I'm a little goblin PNG now. And for the source, I have renamed it to Goblin. Now, in scenes, we are going to right-click on the scene itself that we're on and go to Filters. we are going to go to move source. This is how we're going to set up our yeet commands. I've already typed in yeet1. We're going to make sure that we select the correct source in general here, goblin, and we're going to go down to transform. We're going to get transform. This is going to be our default position. And we are going to copy and paste these sources a few more times. I'm going to select my PNG. I'm going to lift it up, move it to the side, and I'm going to basically shove it into the corner over here, out of scene. And we are going to get transform. I am now going to flip my PNG correctly, put it back into the corner, move it down into the bottom left, and for Yeet 3, get transform. And the final one, move it down here. And that is all the steps for OBS. Now on to mix it up. Create new channel point, type in PNG Yeet. We're going to go into the edit command, and we're going to scroll down to streaming software. Add that in with this plus icon. Make sure in streaming software, you go scroll down and click on OBS Studio. And for this, we're going to select source filter visibility for action. Source name, make sure you name it after the scene, which I named it Goblin Move, right over here. And for the filter name, Yeet 2, visible. And we're going to copy this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Yeet 1. And save. Now for controlling the speed and the timing for this. First, we're going to go back into filters. Our Yeet filter, Yeet 1, I set the custom duration for this one to be 600. And for mix it up, I put in wait commands. Again, you can look through here and find the wait command. And placing these down, first one I put in is in 1 second, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. I find this is a good amount of time. And again, in between all of that, make sure to add in your sound effects. And remember, again, for all your sound files, all of your MP3 files, you use the sound action and place that. You place those at the beginning and in the middle of your yeet, of the throw. We're going to save this. And that is it for the PNG portion of this tutorial. Please consider checking out my other content and subscribing. Anyways, see you later, fuckers!